Welcome to this week's Read the Bible Together session. We've had a couple weeks off for church camp and vacation Bible school, and so now we are back at it with our Old Testament series from the Spark Story Bible from Spark House Publishing. And if you remember, a few weeks ago, we did a couple of readings about Ruth, and now a reading about Hannah, so another woman of the Old Testament that's important to the story. She teaches us about prayer. So this is Hannah prays for a child. You can follow along in 1 Samuel chapter 1, verses 9 through 27 in your own Bible. And listen how Hannah comes to know that God will answer her prayers. So, Hannah prays for a child. Hannah dreamed of having a baby to love and hold. She dreamed of singing lullabies to him until he fell asleep in her arms. But year after year passed and Hannah had no baby. Her friends laughed at her and called her names. Hannah cried and cried. Even though she was sad, Hannah prayed in the temple every day. She prayed, "Oh God, if you give me a son, I'll make sure he spends his life serving you." Eli, the priest at the temple, watched Hannah as she prayed. Her lips moved quickly, but she didn't make a sound. He thought that was very strange, so he said to her, "Stop acting so silly." "Oh, no, sir," Hannah said. "I'm not acting silly. I'm praying to God because I want to have a baby." Eli looked into her eyes and said to her, "Go in peace. God will give you what you are asking for." So you can see there Hannah praying and the tears coming from her eyes. And maybe you've done this too in your prayers. Talk to God. Your lips are moving, but you're still whispering or speaking silently. And God hears us, right? God hears us. Hannah trusted in God. Soon her tears turned into joy, and God gave her a son, and she named him Samuel. Hannah was so happy. She laughed and danced and kissed Samuel all over his little face. She sang lullabies to Samuel and held him close as he fell asleep. Soon it was time for Hannah to keep the promise she had made with God. And when Samuel was still a boy, she took him to the temple to see Eli, the priest. She said, "I am the woman who was here praying for God, to God for a baby. God gave me a son, Samuel. Now he will spend his life serving God." And Samuel stayed at the temple with Eli, and he grew and grew and grew, serving God every day of his life. And you can see there Hannah so happy with their baby Samuel, and then the temple where Samuel grew up. And we will learn more about Samuel next week. But in this week, if you know somebody that's having a difficult time, pray for them. If you're having a difficult time, pray for them. If you are having a wonderful time and you need to thank God, you can also say your prayers of thanksgiving this week.